Okay, so we've all been there, right? You've got your day planned out, maybe your whole week, down to the minute, your calendar, packed, to-do list. It's a work of art, but then somehow by the end of it, you're just completely wiped, overwhelmed, basically running on empty. You hit the deadlines, yeah, but it feels like you're just constantly draining the tank. We always hear, manage your time, but what if the clock isn't really the issue? What if we're missing something, something much more fundamental?
That's such a key question, and I think, so many people feel that exact way. This deep dive, it's really about making a pretty big shift in perspective, moving away from just focusing on the clock, which, let's face it, is fixed. We all get the same amount. You can't change it. And moving towards truly mastering our energy.
Okay.
And the aim, it's not just about getting through your days. It's about boosting your resilience, really breaking free from that awful cycle of burnout.
Yeah.
We're going to unpack why managing energy isn't just some nice idea. It's honestly the game changer you might be looking for.
Yeah, I think many of us grew up drilled on time management. Blocking hours, making lists, trying to squeeze productivity out of every single second. And look, those methods aren't useless, but it really feels like that traditional way just falls short sometimes. It sort of assumes every hour is created equal, that we can just be like machines, constant output.
Right. And that's the flaw. Time management often focuses on the quantity of time you spend, not the quality of what you actually produce during that time. It's quite rigid. And that rigidity, that's often what leads straight to burnout. It just doesn't account for our natural energy ups and downs, our mental states. If you step back, time is, it's constant. We can't really control it. But energy, that's different. It's dynamic. It's something we can actually influence, build up, optimize. That's the crucial difference.
So if energy is this dynamic thing, how do we actually think about it? Is it just one thing, or are there different kinds? Because usually when I hear energy, I just think, physically tired or not.
That's a really common thought, but it's definitely more nuanced.
Yeah.
Think of it like having 4 key dimensions of energy, all interconnected. Optimizing each one helps your overall vitality. First, you've got physical energy. That's the baseline, your body's core power.
Okay, the basics.
Exactly. Sleep quality, and, that means finding your right amount and timing, aligning with your chronotype, not just hitting some magic 8-hour number. Then there's nutrition, what you're fueling your body with, regular movement, exercise, and crucially, recovery time, proper breaks, downtime.
Right. You wouldn't drive a car on empty.
Precisely. Yet we try to run ourselves ragged all the time. Adequate sleep, good food, moving your body, resting, they're non-negotiable foundations.
Okay, that makes total sense. So physical is one. What's next?
Next up is emotional energy. This is about your resilience, your stability, emotionally speaking. It's not just about coping with stress, but actively cultivating positive emotions. Did you know simple things like keeping a gratitude journal for just 5 minutes? Studies show it can actually boost emotional intelligence and lower stress hormones pretty quickly.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's about being aware of your feelings, managing them, building positive relationships, that sort of thing. Self-awareness is huge here.
That's powerful. Yeah. Physical, emotional.
Yeah.
What about the mental side?
That brings us to mental energy. This is your ability to focus, to concentrate, your cognitive sharpness. It's about managing how much you're trying to juggle mentally, avoiding that feeling of overload. It's also about learning new things, thinking creatively, solving problems effectively. It's that state where you do your best work. Focus, high-quality stuff, not just busy work.
Got it. And you said 4 dimensions. What's the last one?
The fourth is spiritual energy. And this isn't necessarily religious, though it can be for some. It's more about your connection to purpose, to meaning, aligning your work and life with your core values, feeling like what you do matters, that you're contributing to something bigger, that deep sense of purpose. It can be an incredibly powerful and sustainable source of energy, especially when things get tough.
That breakdown is really helpful. It makes me think about ultradian rhythms. I read about that, and it feels like the science actually supports this whole energy management approach.
It absolutely does. It's fascinating science. Our bodies naturally work in these cycles, ultradian rhythms, roughly 90 minutes of higher energy and focus, then about 20 minutes where our energy naturally dips.
Like a built-in recharge cycle.
Exactly. Our brains need those mini breaks to consolidate information, replenish neurotransmitters, fight off mental fatigue. So working with these natural rhythms, instead of just powering through them, leads to much higher quality work and honestly way less stress.
Okay, that makes sense biologically, but the world often demands constant work, back-to-back meetings, endless tasks. How does this look practically? Can you give an example? Say someone needs to write a really important report.
Great example. Okay, the time management approach. You might block out, say, 3 solid hours, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And you just force yourself to sit there and write no matter how you feel. Maybe you take a quick coffee break that's scheduled in. The focus is just getting it done in that time block.
Yeah, sounds familiar. And probably exhausting.
Usually, yes. You're often fighting your own brain's natural state. The result, often the work is just okay, maybe mediocre, and you end up feeling totally drained afterward. You finished it, but at what cost?
Right. So what's the energy management way?
With energy management, you'd first think, when am I usually sharpest? When is my peak mental energy? Maybe it's first thing in the morning. So you schedule the report writing then. And you plan to work in focused bursts, maybe around 90 minutes. Then you take a real break. Not just checking email, but stepping away, maybe a short walk, closing your eyes, truly disconnecting for 15-20 minutes.
So honoring that rhythm.
Precisely. And you adjust your pace based on how clear you feel, not just watching the clock. The outcome. The report is likely much higher quality, you feel less stressed doing it, and you actually preserve your creative energy for other things later in the day. It's shifting from enduring your work to actually, thriving within it.
Okay, this makes a lot of sense for boosting performance. But what happens when things go beyond just feeling drained? When we hit, burnout, we hear that word a lot. What exactly is burnout, and how is it different from just being really stressed out?
That's a really important distinction to make. Burnout, it isn't technically a medical diagnosis, but it's a very specific kind of work-related stress response. It shows up as deep physical and emotional exhaustion. Often there are feelings of cynicism, feeling detached from your work, feeling ineffective, powerless, kind of empty.
That sounds heavy.
It is. And it's serious because it significantly increases the risk for things like depression. Now, the difference from regular stress. When you're stressed, you're usually overengaged, you feel overwhelmed, frantic, but deep down you often still feel like, okay, if I just work harder, I can get this under control. There's still a sense of agency, maybe.
Right, like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, even if it's far away.
Exactly. But with burnout, the feeling is different. It's more like emptiness, disengagement, you feel mentally exhausted, you've lost motivation, and often you just don't see any hope for things improving. It's like the light's gone out. It's a state of chronic depletion.
Wow, okay. That really clarifies it. It makes me think back to times of, I just thought I needed more caffeine. But maybe I was ticking off those burnout boxes.
Yeah.
How could you, spot the signs in yourself? What are the red flags we should look out for?
Yeah, there are definitely signs. You might start questioning why you're even doing your job, feeling like it doesn't matter. Or literally dragging yourself to work each day, feeling detached, cynical about your work or colleagues. Maybe you find yourself losing patience easily, snapping at people, lacking energy consistently, finding it hard to concentrate. Those are big ones. Or maybe you finish tasks, but you get zero satisfaction from it, feeling let down, doubting your own abilities.
And I guess it shows up physically too.
Oh, absolutely. Your body often screams burnout before your mind fully admits it. Changes in sleep are common. Can't sleep, or sleeping way too much, maybe relying more on food, alcohol, or drugs to cope, or unexplained physical symptoms, constant headaches, stomach issues, muscle aches that won't go away.
And what usually causes this, is it just overwork?
Overwork is part of it, but it's often more complex. A major factor is feeling a lack of control over your job. Unclear expectations, not knowing what's really required of you. Ongoing conflicts at work can drain you. Having too much to do is obvious, but sometimes having too little meaningful work can also lead to burnout. Lack of support from managers or colleagues is huge. And critically, persistent problems with work-life balance. When work constantly bleeds into your personal life, it's a recipe for disaster. The key thing here is self-awareness. Learning to notice your own early warning signs of pressure, whether it's those immediate stresses like being late or short-staffed, or that slow, long-term buildup. Both types are really damaging, physically and mentally.
Okay, so recognizing the signs is step one. Now, the important part, what do we do about it? Let's talk about the Resilience Toolkit. I know there's a helpful framework, the 3 R's for handling burnout.
Yes, the 3 R's are a great way to think about it. First R is recognize. That's what we just discussed, being vigilant, watching for those warning signs in yourself and maybe even in your colleagues. The second R is reverse. This is about actively taking steps to undo the damage. That might mean seeking support, talking to trusted colleagues, friends, family. utilizing resources like employee assistance programs if you have them.
Talking to your boss, too, maybe.
Definitely. It could involve having that tough conversation with your manager about your workload, about expectations, trying to set more realistic goals. Or sometimes, if the situation is really toxic or unchangeable, reversing might mean considering a job change to find a healthier environment. And the third R, that's resilience. This isn't just fixing the problem, it's about proactively building your capacity to handle stress better in the future, building it every day.
Okay, building resilience. Let's break that down. When you're feeling that pressure right now, in the moment, what are some quick strategies?
For those immediate acute stress moments, there are simple things you can do. Relaxation techniques are powerful. Deep breathing is fantastic, like the 7-11 breath. Inhale for 7 counts, exhale slowly for 11. It calms your nervous system fast.
Okay, 7-11, I can remember that.
Or progressive muscle relaxation, tensing and then releasing different muscle groups. Even just getting up and moving a quick walk, some stretching can break the tension. And managing your thoughts and emotions right then, sometimes literally just stepping away from the situation for a few minutes helps.
Get some space.
Exactly. Talk it out with someone you trust. Just saying it aloud can help. Mindfulness helps too, just noticing your feelings without judging them. Okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. If you're stuck in negative thoughts, try deliberately shifting your focus to something positive, a happy memory, something you're looking forward to. And if it's a specific problem causing stress, try to shift into problem-solving mode. What's one small step I can take? Who could help me with this? And don't forget positive self-talk. I can handle this. This is tough, but I've got this.
Those are great for putting out immediate fires. What about the long game? Building that deeper, lasting resilience to prevent burnout in the first place.
For the long haul, holistic health is absolutely foundational. You have to prioritize your physical health, decent nutrition, regular movement you enjoy, enough quality sleep. These are your body's buffers against chronic stress. And mental health, too. Stay connected with people. Try new things to keep your mind engaged. Notice the world around you. Help others. Acts of kindness are surprisingly good for your well-being, too. These aren't luxuries. They build your capacity.
It really is all connected, isn't it? Which brings us to something I think is maybe the most crucial piece for long-term sanity.
Boundaries.
Oh, 100%. The power of boundaries is immense. Setting clear lines between work and the rest of your life is probably the single most important thing you can do to protect your work-life balance. Boundaries stop that constant flood of work stuff into your personal time. They create the space you absolutely need to recharge. They reduce stress, improve well-being, and actually make you better at your job when you are working. Okay, we know they're vital, but how do we actually set them? Especially in cultures or jobs where being always on feels expected.
It definitely takes conscious effort and sometimes courage. First, try to establish a regular work schedule and, as much as possible, stick to it. Communicate those hours. If you can, have a designated workspace. When you leave that space, you mentally clock out.
Turn off work mode.
Exactly. Take real breaks during the day, schedule them if you have to, and critically, manage your notifications. Set limits on email and work chat outside of your work hours. Turn them off. Be clear about your availability. Treat your self-care exercise, hobbies, family time like important appointments you wouldn't cancel. And this is tough, but learn to say no sometimes, or at least not right now. Protect your balance. Using I statements helps. I need to focus on this priority right now instead of making excuses.
That takes practice. So beyond these practical steps, are there like inner skills or personal development areas that really boost resilience?
Yes, definitely. I think of 3 core pillars. First is emotional intelligence, or EQ. That's your ability to recognize and manage your own emotions and also understand and navigate the emotions of others. You develop it through self-awareness, learning to manage your reactions, building empathy, improving your people skills. And remember the fail idea here. First attempt in learning. See setbacks as learning opportunities, not disasters. That builds emotional resilience.
Fail. First attempt in learning. I like that reframe. Okay, pillar 1 is EQ. What's 2?
Second is accurate thinking. This is about striving for objectivity, basing your understanding on facts, not just letting emotions run the show, learning to separate what's relevant from what's not. A huge part of this is challenging those automatic negative thoughts, we call them ANTs. Things like filtering, only seeing the negative, personalizing, making everything about you, awfulizing, blowing things out of proportion, or polarizing, seeing everything as black or white, good or bad.
Spotting those ANTs.
Yeah, spotting them and questioning them. Is this thought really true? Is there another way to look at this? It helps you respond more calmly and effectively. Like that one critique doesn't erase all the praise. Filtering. A team mistake isn't solely your fault. Personalizing. A small delay isn't the end of the world. Awfulizing. People aren't all good or all bad. Polarizing. Recognizing these helps you reframe.
Okay, EQ, accurate thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Now the third pillar.
Third is realistic optimism. This isn't rose-tinted glasses. It's not pretending problems don't exist. It's about seeing situations clearly, acknowledging the challenge as the realistic part, but then consciously choosing to focus on what you can control, looking for solutions, and maintaining a generally positive outlook about your ability to cope and move forward, the optimism part. It's about positive engagement, taking responsibility, problem solving. Practice reframing negative assumptions into more balanced, hopeful conclusions. These three together, EQ, accurate thinking, realistic optimism, they're like a superpower for resilience.
This really flows into the idea of mindful productivity, doesn't it? Which feels like taking energy management up a notch. Being present, managing your inner state while you work. It's not just doing more, but being more effective.
Precisely. And a key principle here is understanding that the system is the strength. There's a saying, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So, define what's essential. Use templates. Use tech to automate routine stuff. Things like shared project boards, clear scheduling tools, organized task lists. They create clarity and accountability, which frees up mental energy for everyone.
Reduces that mental clutter. Makes sense. What about structuring our time within those systems?
That leads to the next principle. Keep a rhythm to manage time. Establish predictable rhythms, both for your team, like regular check-ins or planning sessions, and for yourself. Think about having opening and closing routines for your workday, protecting blocks of focus time using do not disturb modes or scheduling deep work sessions. Consistent rhythms create stability and reduce decision fatigue.
And our actual workspace, does that matter?
Immensely. Your environment enables energy. Invest in both your physical and digital spaces. Physical could mean a calming desk setup, some plants, good lighting, whatever helps you feel focused and calm. Digital environment means things like organizing your files logically, having shared knowledge hubs, maybe even digital decluttering days. A clean, organized environment reduces friction and supports focus.
And underlying all these systems and environments,
Underneath it all, people are the power. We have to prioritize people as people, foster a culture where well-being matters, where there's psychological safety to speak up, where communication is open. Empowering people to actually say what they need is huge. Transparency, good documentation, these things help with inclusion and empathy too. And we're seeing this reflected in bigger trends too. The right to disconnect movement getting traction in places like France, Australia, Canada laws protecting non-work time.
right, acknowledging that boundary legally.
Exactly. And experiments with shorter work weeks popping up globally. It all points towards a growing understanding that dedicated recovery time isn't optional. It's essential for sustainable performance and preventing burnout systemically.
So you've probably spent years meticulously managing your time, trying to cram more in, optimize every minute. But the real path to freedom, to resilience, to actually protecting yourself from burnout, it doesn't come from grinding harder against the clock. It comes when you shift focus and learn to manage your energy. It's about actively taking care of all those dimensions: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, setting those crucial boundaries, building systems that support you, not drain you.
That's it, exactly. So maybe the next time you look at a big task on your list, don't just ask, when do I have time for this? Ask yourself, when will I have the right energy for this? And maybe, what's one small thing I can do today, right now, to honor my energy levels, not just feed the to-do list?
Because remember, your well-being, it's not a luxury you earn after everything else is done. It's the absolute foundation for everything: your performance, your creativity, your happiness.
So here's a thought to leave you with. What energy vampire are you going to slay first?